when my family and I were looking to move to Arkansas, you always had to say it like that. Arkansas, you really got to go up above the top. That's how you know you're local. You know what I'm saying? When we
Gotta
were
hit the high
talking about
register.
moving, that's right. I told my wife, like, just imagine, because we were living the New England life and loved it there in so many ways, but some great opportunity opened up for us here. Enough about my personal life. I did, however, pitch her this idea. Imagine we'll get a big property, it's the South, so land easier to get. Theoretically, that was still difficult. A big property, you can live all your homesteading dreams, the gardening life. You can get all the animals you could possibly want or imagine: chickens, goats, and ducks, and a couple of big dogs running around the property. Hypothetically, right? This was all hypothetical. She did not understand it as hypothetical, and immediately that day, months, like 6 months before I would actually end up getting a job where we were looking. That specific day, she not only started researching what kind of dog we would get and add to our dog reservoir.
Nope. Nope.
Reservoir dogs, that's different. Anyway,
Reservoir?
Repertoire.
How many dogs
We've already
do you
got a
have
dog.
in your reservoir?
we have one dog. So now we're about to get,
Okay.
that's the news. We're getting a dog. And so she told me a few weeks ago, hey, I found some puppies and stop me or I'm going to get them. And I was like, show me a picture. And she showed me, and I was like, okay, well, first we got to work on this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. We got to get the house ready because we moved here and it's been a mess because we started the new job and everything's out of control and the property's in shambles. Huge property, just so much for us to manage. And she took care of all these things like in record time, 48 hours of tunnel vision. And I was like, well, you've been holding out on me all these years. You did accomplished a year's worth of work in 2 days. A year's worth of work. And so we're getting a dog. We're getting a puppy, a golden retriever puppy, and I am revealing said puppy here live on the air. Legends Look Back.
No.
This is the puppy.
Oh,
Wow.
We got to go. There was the whole litter of them, and we got to choose. And they have different colored.
Sweet.
Almost called them name tags. What's the thing they have around their neck?
collar.
Dog tags.
They have different colored collars. And
Collars.
you just choose them by the color, and they're all running around, peeing on each other, and wrestling with each other, and playing with my kids, snuggling with us a little bit. And my wife's like, "Oh, I like this one. All right, great. We'll get the gray one." And then she says, "No, I haven't decided yet. Well, maybe I like this." So this one that we're getting is green. He's the green one.
Says
Got a
the
green little
colorblind
Green.
guy.
It's
Mr.
the green
Green got it.
color. The dog is blonde-ish brown.
I
Boy
thought
or girl?
Boy, yeah, male dog.
Okay.
I say all of this to say this. The dog, we have decided on his name. I am going to reveal the name here live on Legends Look Back.
Ooh.
But first, I want everybody to speculate on what you think we are naming this puppy.
Okay.
We already have a Darth Tumnus.
Okay,
This is
Darth
hard.
Tumnus is taken.
All right,
Are we
Jared.
sticking with the
taken
reservoir
Tumnus.
dog thing?
You know how
Reservoir dog is not the name.
Okay.
Jared, you and I have had weird symmetry in our lives, and our family's been in a conversation about new dogs too. And so this has been in my brain figuring out our next dog's name. And so I am happy for you, but I really hope you haven't picked my dog's name. So,
That would be fun.
There's two
Steal
reveals.
your dog thunder.
yeah, don't steal my dog thunder.
Okay.
Thunder dog. That'd be a good name.
Zalbar.
Thunder dogs. Ho! Okay.
All right, I got a couple of good guesses here in the chat. And hey, if you're here with us in the chat, throw your name ideas at me. And the name's already taken, so I don't actually need to know your ideas. But it's fun to speculate, right? So we've got a good one here from Diligent Sloth from Justin. He says Core and Horror. Now that's great. A very good guess because of the green. Core and Horn loves green. Green ship.
Yeah, I feel like the
droid.
green was very
Green
important to
robes.
you.
No, I was hoping to get a core and horn response, and I elicited it. Congratulations, well done. We did it. Moving on. I will say this much: the name is at least somewhat, in some form or fashion, a little bit legendsy.
Okay.
Had to be.
I feel like the cutest puppy name would be Dash. I think that's cute. No?
That is a cute.
What about
Here's my criteria.
What about
name has to have 2 syllables. Classic
Excuse
dog
me.
names.
You did not say there was a syllabus.
You didn't ask me any of my
Trioculus?
questions.
Oh, that's 4.
Trioculus. the three-eyed dog. If it had three eyes, I for sure would have named him Trioculus. For
All
sure.
right.
Two-syllable name, the classic dog criteria.
Revan.
Very good dog name. It never occurred to me, but no, that's not it.
Better than Dash?
I'm not saying it's better.
That's
All right.
AF.
What about?
I think you need to rename your dog to Dash.
Is
Okay,
it-
good
according
guess
to
here
Apple.
from Nathan. He says fluffy palps. That's good. That's very good. Too many
Ooh.
syllables. Another good one from Nathan. Chewy. I will say this much,
Lumpy.
Nathan.
Okay,
Chewy made the short
Nathan.
list. Chewy was
Ooh.
a finalist.
Lumpy.
Okay. But that's canon too. So like
Yeah. No, Chewy. So according to Emily,
Ranker?
Chewy is too canon. Ranker. Very good one.
Jabba the
That's
pup.
Oh. I gotta tell my kids that one. They're gonna laugh.
horrible name.
A great guess from somebody in the chat named Freddie. Lumpy. Very good guess. Love it. Love it.
all right, is it-
going once, going twice?
Mithron Euroto.
Too many
Oh
syllables.
gosh.
Thrawn. That's not long
If it
enough.
had had a blue collar, that would have been cool.
Yeah, Thrawn's on our short list, so that's why I was hoping he didn't steal Thrawn. I mean, Thrawn's, I don't know, maybe too mainstream, but
It's not
I-
mainstream.
Yaddle.
So
All right.
Yaddle.
20 questions me a little bit. 20
all right,
questions.
let's see. Is it a boy character?
Yes.
Is it what color is it?
We
What
don't-
color is the character?
Yeah.
We're not the kind of
Racist.
show. Yeah, Freddie.
The character is white, like
Okay.
a white male.
So he's
I
human.
mean, it could be blue, purple, or green. So I mean, we're
Human?
talking legitimate color here.
That's
A
fair.
white male human in the
Okay.
Legends universe.
Okay. Is he force sensitive or a force user?
Yes.
And it's not
Luke.
Corn.
Corin?
Yeah.
No, not Corin.
Luke.
Corin, but I'll say if you're barking up at the
Ah.
Corin tree, you're on the right tree. Jason, great name. I wanted that
Oh.
for a son that we never had.
Is it Kyle?
So we're
2 syllables.
Oh, Kyle, we did it! Congratulations.
Nice.
No. That was my
Kyle.
yes. All right. So that was my first thought. I was like, Kyle, oh, that'd be funny, like Kyle Katarn. And then I was like, no, it's not dog enough. Dash
It's-
is a
that's-
way better choice. And
it's-
apparently
all right, so-
I was
Yeah, well,
universally berated for that.
It's
So
the fact that it's not like an explicitly dog name.
That's fair.
Is
That's
part
safe.
of why
Yeah.
it's one of the things we were
Kyle is
looking
one
at.
syllable too.
It
Just
is.
for the
Kyle.
record. It's definitely one.
It's
Nope,
just
Kyle.
one, dude. Just one.
It's two
Oh,
syllables.
Ooh.
Kyle.
I
If-
object.
Kyle.
Kyle.
You're saying it like a
It's
true
two in the
Arkansan.
South. To the rest of the English-speaking world, it is one syllable.
How do you possibly say that with one syllable?
Kyle.
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 There's no way to say it with one
Kyle.
syllable.
Kyle.
If you make it into one syllable, the word is kill.
Kyle. Kyle.
The name of the dog is Kyle.
Kyle.
Here's the reasoning. One, it's
Is
a
this-
Legends name. I wanted some sort of a nerdy name. Our previous
it.
dog, our current dog,
Ooh.
good dog. His
Wow.
name is
In the
Bilbo.
reservoir?
The dog in the reservoir. And by that I mean probably in my bed.
Bark,
His,
bark twice for help.
his name is Bilbo, which
That's
is
cute.
nerdy,
I
but
like
the
that.
wrong franchise. Wrong franchise.
Nah, that's a great franchise.
It is a great franchise.
What's funny though, and I won't get it too explicit about this on the show, some people don't know anything about Lord of the Rings
Oh.
and don't. Freddie apparently already knows this story.
yeah.
Can't
can
quite
hear it in
figure
my
out the
head.
dog's name.
Oh,
And
no.
So especially like older people, hard of hearing a little bit, you try to tell them that the name of the dog is Bilbo.
Oh, gosh.
We'll just say some people have misunderstood the dog's name.
Okay.
Some have thought that his name is Bobo. So a lot of people think his name is
Okay.
Bobo. A lot.
Bobo.
And no other names.
Bobo.
He's never been mistaken for any other names that are similar to Bilbo. Ever. Ever. Never. It has never happened. Okay. So, one, we wanted a nerdy name, but two, a little more subtly nerdy than Bilbo.
Nice.
So you went
Kyle.
with Kyle.
Kyle.
Nice.
Here's reason three. Golden Retriever. Classic family dog, like tennis playing country club kind of family, right? Which we
Yeah.
don't do. But Kyle for us was a very like, you know,
Yeah, and you can go to the park and yell for Kyle, and a bunch of '90s kids are gonna turn around, and hopefully your dog will come
I was
too.
gonna say my
bunch of
first
dudes with
crush.
backwards
His name
hats.
was Kyle.
Yeah.
and then most importantly, we
Mm.
are actually naming him after more explicitly after our friend Kyle Kyle Buckner, who was our youth minister in Massachusetts, who's got some major puppy dog energy. So
Nice.
I
The
consider
layers
it,
just keep peeling back.
that's
Yeah.
right.
There's a lot of layers.
Kyle
Good.
the onion dog
Kyle, the ogre dog. Oh,
in the
Many
reservoir.
layers.
the reservoir.
Justin says his brother's name is Kyle. You ready for this, Justin? My brother's name is Justin. Yeah. And with that, Rick, woof. I mean, let's start the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the Genie Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people who can recite the original 9 Beanie Babies from memory, where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined tonight with the whole team. It's rare these days. We can all 4 be together in the dog days of summer. See what I did there? The dog days.
Hey.
First and foremost, our high-flying sidekick in the co-pilot seat, Freddie C.
Yeah, so I've got, let's see, Patty, and I definitely have Cubby. I remember Cubby. That was one of my Beanie Babies.
What's the camel's name? He was an original 9, right?
I don't remember the
Humpy,
camel.
right? Is it Humpy? That can't be right.
Nope.
I know there's a moose. The moose, I think his name is Chocolate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't remember if there was a Lumpy in there, or yeah.
I hope there
I
is.
want to say there was a lobster as well named Pinchers,
Oh.
but that's all I remember.
Yeah.
We
Lobster
just
sounds right.
we just got our
Lobster.
childhood Beanie Baby bin, and are currently in the process of trying to find out if any of them are worth any kind of value, and line them all up. My grandmother gave them to us when she passed away, and so going through the Beanie Babies, very sentimental thing. My kids are lining them all up, and I was like, this one looks old. Let me Google it. I was like, oh, apparently if it's got the right misprints on it, some of these suckers are rare. I was like, kids, give me that one. That one's Daddy's Beanie Baby. You play with the other ones. This is Daddy's Beanie Baby. Yeah. So about to start the new Beanie Baby podcast next week, apparently.
Woo-hoo.
Like it's in 1998.
Mm.
Also joined tonight by somebody who maybe knows her way around Beanie Babies. We're about to find out. Emily Daybeck.
So I was never allowed to play with the Beanie Babies because they were apparently supposed to be valuable. I was also not allowed to play with my Millennium Barbie. I don't know if anybody else has seen or owns one of these.
We've had this conversation before.
Have we really? Well, you maybe don't know that my daughter found it because we're staying with my parents' house. We're moving back to Georgia. She found it and she asked to play with it. And I looked at my mom and I looked back at her and I was like, oh yeah, baby, we're opening this thing.
Did you
And
say,
we
oh yeah,
cracked that
Beanie Baby?
sucker open. Yeah, no Beanie Babies. But we did open the Millennial Barbie and it was a very satisfying experience. Like,
Oh,
finally, let the children play with the toys.
Wow, amazing. You know who else doesn't let his children play with his toys? Our producer, Rick Race.
That's right, kids. I'm here. I had stuffed animals, but I never had many Beanie Babies. My wife, though, still has her collection somewhere, hoping that they're valuable one of these days. She had a bunch. I know that much is true. I probably couldn't name any of the original 9, so I'm useless.
Freddie got 2. I would maybe more. We don't know for sure. It was actually mostly just the bit for the show. I don't actually know the original 9, but now, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight unless
I know.
unless I can. I could definitely name like 100 Power Rangers. So there's that.
Oh,
I could probably name 1,000 Pokemon. How many Pokemon are there?
There's hundreds.
there's a
There's
man.
thousands, I think,
Right
at
about
this
1,000,
point.
right?
Probably.
I think so. I think I could. Yeah, name what can you name 1,000 of? That's an interesting thing.
Hmm.
Or even
is.
100.
I did add the Poke Rap to our Legends Look Back Spotify playlist.
Oh,
Nice.
And it's legit.
I
We
gotta
get
find
down
this.
every time that one comes on.
The trouble was I was traveling to see Freddie when you launched that and didn't have time to properly sink into
Maybe
it.
we'll pick a day and I'll add it. I'll put the link in the Discord and everybody can just go crazy and just add every song.
I was deep into the ruins of Dantooine when you launched that, and I was enjoying it so much that nothing was going to throw me off of Ruins of Dantooine. Speaking of which, we are tonight going to be catching with one another. It's the first time we've all been together in, I don't know, weeks. So excited to all get to catch up on what's been going on in the world of our Legends reading lives, talk about what we've been reading. We'll talk about what we've collected recently. Rick's got a fun throwback for us. We've got some company goings on. I'm making a couple podcast appearances I need to talk about a little bit. We've got Legends Lookout and Thracken's Thrift Store, and of course our Legends Race to the Finish update, which I would like to think I'm slowly but steadily catching up to Emily. So first, Rick, you shared something very fun with us a few days ago, which is that you just celebrated a big Star Wars anniversary.
Yeah, so I wasn't entirely sure when I started reading Legends. I knew it was years ago, but I had a hard time remembering exactly when that was. And the good old Facebook shared a nice little memory with me because apparently I put it on social media, which I guess I do that a lot. So let's see, what day is this? The 28th. So 3 days ago was that 7? Is that what that is? I can't even read it anymore. 7 years ago, I read my first Star Wars book, and it was Heir to the Empire, of course.
Classic.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't read what I said. I forgot, but something about probably should have done this sooner, but glad to finally start. And
it says this is probably long overdue. Today I started reading my first Star Wars book.
Aw.
Love it, Rick.
Yeah, so that was fun. I got some great comments on it too. Let's see, whoops.
It disappeared. Obi-Wan, just for our audio listeners, Obi-Wan just force pushed Rick's comments off the screen. They were
That's
there,
what happened.
And then
Get out of the way.
he
There
wiggled
they
his
go.
fingers just right.
Get
and
out of
They were
here.
no more. These are not the comments you're looking for. We found them.
Yes, they're back. So sorry, I'm trying to get my screen bigger so I can read these. Couple of weird ones, oh yeah, that's great. Welcome to a world of awesomeness, blah, 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 blah. And then there's this guy down here, Jared Mays, and he says, so proud of you. So thanks, bud. Actually,
From 7 years ago,
Yeah.
I commented that.
which I've shared this before on the show, but Jared, you are a huge reason I've stayed with it, man. You've been an invaluable source of knowledge, and you've been one of my Jedi Master guides helping me along the way. So thanks,
Yeah,
man.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
That's all I got.
Why do
Oh,
you
okay.
love me?
Yeah, that's right. Rick, I love it when I get a message that says, dude, I'm thinking about reading a Star Wars book. Got any
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
recommendations? That's when I go like this.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. I was born
Let me
for this.
link one of the many articles I've written on the subject.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Got
have
that link
referred
in there.
people to. Sometimes I just try to test out different methods and see what sticks. Rick it sticked with Rick. I was looking for something that rhymed. Yeah, it definitely worked with Rick. In fact, in case you didn't know, he now does a weekly Star Wars podcast
Yeah.
with me.
Surprise! Yeah, which actually that was even before Utini. So I remember like talking about what do I do next, and I see a picture of my bookshelf, and you're like, so those are good, but you can wait on those, stuff like that. So and then Utini came along and made it easier. So yay, Utini.
So
right.
what was it? 7 years ago? 7 years ago, you told your wallet, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry."
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
he broke
I've-
up with his wallet.
I've
and
always
married to
loved
Star
books.
Wars.
I've always loved books, so I've got tons of like ministry,
Yeah.
religion books. Some other like different fiction.
Now you have a focus.
Yeah, an addiction is called. But yeah, it's
So
been
this
good.
was my 10-year of reuniting with Star Wars books.
Mhm.
I know this because my wife and I just had our 10th anniversary in May, and on our honeymoon, we went to a bookstore.
Ah,
And there at the bookstore, see if I can find it. I found a couple of the little collections of Young Jedi Knights books. They were like 3 books in one paperback. And you know how sometimes I get really excited about the things and I go like this. That's what
Yeah.
happened. I saw these on the shelf and was like, oh, I used to love these when I was a kid and I haven't seen them. You can't find these books anywhere because they at the time were Young Jedi Knights is like got a different licensing situation. Like Del Rey doesn't reprint them. They're hard to get your hands on. And I found these two things, and we were, it was a beach honeymoon, and so I read 6 Young Jedi Knights books on our honeymoon.
Nice.
and have not stopped since, and am now, I believe I just read my 290th Star Wars book.
Wow.
That does not count comics or rereads.
Nice.
Wow.
290. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Jared, I would say it's funny because there's a it seems like there's like a in Star Wars fandom, some people might have their ups and downs, right? There's years you're collecting and you're really into it and it's your life, and then there's years where you just take a break and maybe focus on something else, or I don't know, some focus on another hobby, I suppose, but then you get really back into it, and I feel
Right.
like I had that experience too when I was younger. Star Wars was life. Then of course college came, and I was like, all right, I got to focus on learning.
Yeah. I read like 3 Star Wars books the entire 4 years I was in college.
Oh
total.
yeah, maybe less.
I've read 3 in
I
like the
never
last
read.
2 weeks.
Mm.
I was already reading a lot, so I didn't want to read on top of having to read
Exactly.
at that time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah. It's fun to have your, let us know, what's your Star Wars anniversary, your Star Wars books. It can be when you rededicated your love to the franchise, the renewing of vows, if you will,
Are we
or
gonna?
perhaps the day of your discovery, like Rick.
Should we have
your Star Wars birthday.
a Star Wars invitation later? If you'd like to recommit your life to reading Star Wars books,
Come on down. There's never been I've got a few of those. Now's the time as we
Yeah.
stand and sing.
as we stand and sing, yes.
Or
I like your
I do-
shirt. That's really
I-
cool.
yeah, I think my daughter asked me, Daddy, where'd you get your Nintendo Switch shirt?
Oh.
And I said,
Mm-mm.
this is Nintendo 64.
That was the system,
I
man.
said,
That
that's
was
the
it.
one
Yes.
that has the 3rd joystick. And she said, oh, yeah. She like instantly knew. All right, I found these were the ones I got on my honeymoon. One of
Mm.
them is water damaged because I dropped it in the water at the beach on
Oh.
said honeymoon.
Beach
But-
reads.
Well loved. I mean, these especially the jumbo packs is what I call them. They got 3 books a piece inside. These are especially hard to come by.
Hmm.
Mine are not worth anything because, like I said, condition is not awesome, but freaking love these things. All right. Well, Rick, that was really heartwarming, and I'm sorry I hijacked it with my own story.
All right, let's go, man.
But
It's all
that's
good.
how it happens around here. Speaking of hijacking things with my own stories, I was on the Living Force Monday. A couple of company updates here.
Ooh.
The Living Force Monday was called in to pinch hit for the Doctor, Corey Helton, as they talked about the best Padawans in Star Wars, and I had to represent Legends, the Legends side of things. Now, I only got to give one pick, which was sad. Therefore, we're going to talk about it here for a second because I need to get this out of my system. Putting you on the spot here, guys. Think about it. Google it if you have to. You look at your bookshelves, whatever it takes. I'll vamp if need be. Who is one of your favorite, like, Jedi apprentices? We don't have to say Padawans necessarily.
Does it
The
have
J-
to be a Jedi?
What? I had one
Could be a
rule,
Sith.
Freddie.
Oh,
Okay, a Sith apprentice. Sure. Yeah. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Favorite
Okay.
Legendsy apprentice. I said Leia in the Bug Books, the Dark Nest trilogy. She trains under Saba 17, and
Yeah,
so I
that's
talked
right.
about that weird relationship, which is fun. All right,
Hmm.
what's yours, Freddie?
Well, I'm really into Maul right now, and I really like his character because he is absolutely trained, and the best way to put it is he was in one of the stories, he was dropped into prison, could not use his force powers, and he was still destroying everything around him. So
Doesn't he fight a Yuuzhan Vong?
would you say he demolished it?
yeah, he demolished it.
Rick, rate her
Exactly.
dad joke on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh,
that
that
was
was
a-
that was a
an
7.5.
11.5.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
I'm not a dad yet, so I don't have the experience like Rick has with his jokes, but that was an
It just-
11.5
It
for
just
me.
becomes like in your blood. I think like when the baby spits up on you, it's instant like awakens the dad jokes or something.
Oh, see, I didn't get the dad jokes. I got bad dancing skills the day that
Oh,
my
nice.
child was born. I can throw down with the best of them. Like in the Waffle House, my kids and I tonight, we were playing that Trolls song with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
And
Can't stop the feeling.
straight up dance party in the Waffle House with the waiter.
Show us
and
one
the
more
cook,
time.
Same person. Yeah, that's right. The dance party.
Dance, yeah.
So I've got a.
It's all on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, there's other body parts that move too, but you can't see them on the podcast. It's,
Is it the knees?
it's something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. Who you said Sith Apprentice Maul? Great pick. Great pick. We're talking more about Maul in a minute. Emily, who's your pick?
I love Ahsoka. I know that she's not. Is she Legends? I thought she
Totally.
started
She's
Legends.
absolutely Legends.
100% Legends.
Okay.
No, I don't
We
know
check
if
Ahsoka.
100%, but at least somewhat.
100% to me in my heart.
So her freestanding novel, her backstory went. Was it by A.K.? Is it A.K. Johnston? Is that who wrote that?
Yeah.
EK.
I'm sorry, E.K. Johnston. That was that before the Disney acquisition?
No, that's a new canon one.
That's canon.
But
so
it's-
then,
it's kind of been
where does
retconned.
she appear in Legends? I've been wondering this for a while, actually.
It's the animated Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Like the original cartoon Clone Wars.
Okay, that's what I figured. But then
And also
I
the
guess I
original
thought that was canon.
Clone Wars comics, the
It's
ones
important.
that were inspired by the show. In fact, one of
Yes.
the priciest Star Wars comics ever made. Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Clone Wars #1.
Oh yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
cover by Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
That
Yeah.
What?
thing sells for like $1,700.
Wow.
I mean,
Oh my
it is
gosh.
extremely
Yeah.
rare.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And-
So
Look
so
at that.
Legends. That's a Legends
One thing
series.
to remember, right? Ahsoka is a George Lucas created character, so that's really
Really?
important. Oh yeah, he had 100%.
I
say
just
in
love
it.
her.
Yeah.
I know that everybody does. That's why she's such a big thing. But like, so there's just something about her purity. Like she is just so. We don't
It's
have to do a
not-
deep dive into Ahsoka. I just,
We could do a
Ahsoka's my
Legends
favorite
Ahsoka
Padawan.
episode.
I
This
love
would be fun.
Ahsoka. Yeah.
We should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
it's
do-
not just that, but it's her growth, right? That's the
Mhm.
that's the cool
Yes.
part.
Mhm.
Could do a
Yes.
Legends canon Ahsoka turf war.
Ooh.
That'd be fun.
Ooh,
Yeah, a
that'd be a
couple
great
of-
crossover.
Street fight.
Yes, she's in the No Prisoners book. So one of the books that Tyler just read on his Legends Race to the Finish. It was funny. He started the contest, and like 3 days later, he messaged me, "Wait, Ahsoka's in this?" It's like, as we agreed, hey, we're going to start reading all the remaining Legends books we have left. He did not expect that his second book out of the gate would be an Ahsoka book. It's an Ahsoka Rex team up little story, which is cool. Captain Pellion's in there. I mean,
What book was that
It's-
you said?
No Prisoners.
No prisoners. Okay. I didn't realize that. That's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great pick. We've got Maul and Ahsoka. And I said
Gosh, those are some heavy hitters there.
I said Leia. Yeah, we've got some very mainstream
Yeah.
characters here. Give me something more obscure, Rick.
Oh, good. Yeah. Mine was going to be Ahsoka. And then my second choice was going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we're going real
Oh.
obscure. So
No, it's
Obi-Wan
okay.
is a
It's
How
okay.
great
about Corran Horn? How about that one? He's a great
that
Padawan,
works.
isn't he?
Corran Horn is
Tenel
the
Ka.
worst Padawan.
I know.
He doesn't want to receive any instruction from anybody. He argues with all of his teachers. He straight up tears Luke a new one on Yavin 4, complaining about his training methods. Mara Jade has to take him under her wing to try to teach him a little bit. And then they take down Exar Kun with the help of baby Jason Solo. I mean, it is ridiculous. But Corran
I
Horn,
love it.
definitely on the list. Definitely for sure. Talking about the best Legends Padawans. Great answers here all around. Tenel Ka's a good choice, Freddie. After she's
I
in
have
one of my.
I have my I'll
books
do another pick. So come back to me.
All right. I had another one, and I was just really eager to bust this little factoid out on the Living Forest the other day, and then didn't get a chance to. And then I forced it in at the very end of the episode. I think it could have been after we wrapped, and that is, I think I mentioned her at the end of last week's episode of Legends Lookback. Scout. Scout is in a few Legends books.
Oh, yeah.
Yoda Dark Rendezvous, but her real name, her full name, her Christian name, if you will, is you don't have to, but if you will, it's okay. It's really difficult. See if I can get this. Telizabeth Inderwang Esterhazy.
Oh,
Esterhazy.
clearly.
Yeah.
That's
Telizabeth
easy.
Inderwang Esterhazy.
Why would you go with Scout?
It just rolls off the tongue a little better. I gotta say, man, it's a whole lot easier. One syllable. For real this time. One actual syllable.
Scout.
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 Yeah. That's the clone. Scout out is the clone. Okay. She's dope. Okay. And we're gonna talk about one more. One more. What was yours, Freddie?
Gantoris, best Padawan ever.
Best Padawan for the 5 minutes he's in the book.
He really he threw everyone for a long ride, I would say, Gantoris.
Where's the Gantoris fan fiction that we've been waiting 30 years for?
The
Somebody in the chat.
Gantori.
All right, a couple of great picks here in the chat before we move on. Zane and Tinel Ka for Skooma Joe. Love those.
Yeah.
We got from Justin Vima Sunrider and Zane Carrick. Can't argue with those picks. Not one bit. And Quinlan Voss and Ayla Sakura in the Legends comics. Definitely. I almost said Ayla Sakura. But then I really wanted to do my Saba 17 impression. Now she eats the flesh of her enemies. Yeah, so I did better on Monday. You got to go back and listen to that. And one more coming up on Wednesday, not next week. Not next week. I learned that one today. The week after. The week after on the 10th. Wednesday the 10th, I'm going to be on the Cosmic Force talking about, I want you to see if you can guess what we're going to talk about. All right. So it's Cosmic Force. Talking about a book where Luke looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. There's vacuum cleaner super weapons.
Oh, great. This is going to be great.
And the kicker, Boba Fett is a hot dog.
Yes.
What is that book?
Let's see. I'll let you guys go. I know.
Nope, no idea.
Freddie
No,
knew
you
it
got this,
with
Freddie.
First guess. What is it, Freddie?
Well, when you said the what was it? The vacuum cleaners, right?
Yeah.
We're going back towards the era of the X-Wing games, and then so that's the 90s. We're thinking most likely Dark Empire.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
They said we're finally tackling Dark Empire. Would you join us? And
Oh.
she had not even finished sending the message, and I said, "You bet your britches." I don't think I said that, but I said something else that also meant yes, I will be there. So yeah, I will say this: sweeping declaration, public service announcement, calling all comics fans. If
Yes.
you have not yet read Dark Empire, now's your friggin' chance.
do it.
And we're going to talk about it on the Cosmic Force on not next week. The week after on
Okay.
Wednesday, September, the month before September.
August.
Thank you. Wednesday, August 10th at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, working on my time zones. And it's going to be a blast. And unless you hate it, in which case, sorry, but it's great. And
Yes.
Emily, have you read it yet? This is your chance.
I haven't. This is my chance. I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
we
I'm
about to
gonna
do
read
it.
it.
Is it all right? Dark Empire 1 or doing the whole trilogy or what?
I don't know. I should find out. I'm
Okay.
assuming it's the first
Just do
volume.
the first one. That's
6
all of them is too
issues.
much.
6 issues, yeah.
Okay.
Because once we
That's
get into
so
volume
doable.
2, we got to do with Empatajoyos brand, BB-8, Buzz
Yes.
Lightyear, steampunk.
I've
Jedi.
got-
another great name for a dog.
Yes.
I've got
That's
a
what's
Dark
two syllables
Empire.
better.
Empatajoyos brand would be a good.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, come here,
Two
Empatajoyos.
syllables.
Come here.
Empatajoyos brand.
The
That's not
greatest
how the
Jedi,
syllables work.
the greatest Jedi of all time, Empatajoyos brand, or at
Mhm.
least the best Jedi name.
We should
Yeah.
play a syllable counting game to see how wrong we can each be from each other.
That's great. That's a great idea.
Joyous
You've not read it,
brand.
Emily.
brand.
I'm excited for you.
Yes.
Um,
No, I'm running out of excuses not to, honestly. And like I've been really falling in love with
Yeah.
comics lately. Oh my goodness. If
So
you have no
take this-
They're
time,
quick. They're
comics.
quick.
Yeah.
Do comics.
Remember this Dark Empire is but done by one of the most prolific, I would say. It's the most standout. You'll recognize it anytime you see his art. Thomas, right? It's Thomas Veitch. Is that right?
Mhm.
That's his writing. The artist
that's-
is Cam Kennedy.
Cam
Cam
Kennedy,
Kennedy. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. Flipped it by accident there. Cam Kennedy. Cam Kennedy's art. Beautiful watercolors.
I got it tattooed on my body.
Yeah. The watercolors.
Don't
So
tell my dad. He
beautiful.
doesn't know yet.
The way
Oh,
he
man.
works them together and just I don't know how he does it, to be honest, but Cam Kennedy's art is very interesting and it's different. You won't see
Mm.
anything like it, in my opinion.
Definitely. Now, here's the trouble, Emily. It's hard to get your hands on. So, First, if you've got a digital subscription, that's going to be your best bet. Marvel Unlimited,
Yeah,
Comixology
that's my
Unlimited.
plan.
Buy it on Amazon for $10 or something digitally, because getting your hands on it in print is tough. The recent just came out last year, right? Could have been 2 years ago since we've done it on the show. The Epic Collection from Marvel, already over $50. So already hard to get. Could be in the 80s, and I'm trying to remember how much that sucker goes for. People know the value. I'll say this much: they know that it is a gold mine. You got one, Rick?
Well, I mean, I got something for you. Do you know about? I was on a family trip visiting up in the Northeast, and I went to a new store that I've never been to before. Got some goodies from it. I'll show off later. But there was a book there, a hardcover book that I'd never seen before, never heard of, and you guys might know about it. But
I'm drooling. Oh,
it's Luke Skywalker: Last Hope for the Galaxy. It's printed by Dark Horse, and it's like leather bound, comes in a slipcase. They wanted $100 for it, and so I didn't jump on it there, but I maybe won an eBay auction this week, and so it's coming in the mail. But it does have the first 6 of Dark Empire. It's like the last
What?
story in it, and so it's got a whole bunch of really cool stories that are all about Luke.
you got Dark Empire in a leather-bound copy?
I don't know if
Jared
it's.
sweat
It may not
over
be
here.
leather bound. I haven't actually held this with my hands yet, so I'll tell you. But it does have a slipcase.
Oh my gosh,
So
I'm so excited! I got to
That's
look this
awesome.
thing up as soon as this episode is over.
yeah, 2008 is when it came out. So it's all Legends.
Oh, cool!
Oh,
Yeah, I can't wait to see
man.
it on the show.
That's
And
definitely
I
Yeah.
have
That's gonna be
I have
fun.
something else Dark Empire themed to show off at for Thrackens.
Rick and Strap
tattoo as
store.
well.
That's right. A new tattoo.
Thrackens Thraftons.
Absolutely great. So we've talked about Rick's first Star Wars book, My Jedi Puppy. I was on the Living Force. I'm gonna be on the Cosmic Force. We're all gonna read Dark Empire, and you're gonna love it. And next, we are going to talk about the Legends race to the finish. So we talked about the Jedi apprentices. The Jedi apprentices. They're where was I going with this? Where are you guys at in your books? I was trying to think of my connections. My segues for later. We'll get back to it. Hang on to that segue. Just park in your garage, and we're gonna come back to it.
Park.
All right. So where are you at, Emily? You still in the lead? You got 7. What's your total?
Yeah, I'm at 7.
7 is
All right.
respectable. 7 is respectable.
Thank you. Most of those were in the NICU, but I think I read 1 or 2 since then. So I've definitely slowed down. That's
Well,
for sure.
that was a
I'm
long time
catchable.
because you're a grown woman now. Sorry, it's bad.
I
bad
thought I
joke.
messaged Tyler
Yeah,
about this.
okay.
Nope, I drafted a message and never sent it.
Oops.
So I'll message
Oh.
him now. We'll wait on an update. I believe the last update from him was 5. It could be that he's finished 5 and is up to 6. For tonight, we're gonna say 5 because I am at 6.
Oh, snap.
And by that I mean
comics
Hey.
don't count. Do comics count?
no.
Hold
don't
on.
count.
Do little tiny junior readers count?
Ooh.
Absolutely not.
So that Lando Calrissian book, does that count as the
about a
trilogy
short
as
story?
one, or does the whole individual title? Because they sell it in a single volume and it's about the size as a regular one.
You're trying to punk me, and I'm not going to take the bait. On utini.com, they're listed as separate titles.
Uh-huh.
And after all, it is the best Star Wars timeline in the galaxy. So
Okay.
I will say this much. They are trying to read one of those. They are not light, breezy reads. It takes as much time to try to get through one of the. It took me 2 months to read the second volume. I don't
Alright.
actually know if that's true, but it took me weeks. I have never almost quit a book as many times as I almost quit that. Basically every word.
Nice.
I almost quit them, and they were. I'm through 2, so I've now read Lando Calrissian and the Mind Harp of Sharu, and Lando Calrissian and the Flame Wind of Ossian. That's 2 syllables. Lando Calrissian and the Flame Wind of Ossian. So
Ossian. It's 3 syllables. Ossian. Okay, I can see both.
I did see somebody on Reddit this week describe it as Lando Calrissian and the Bonkers, and that is from now on how I'm referring to those books. I've moved on to Shadows of Mindor, and it's weird, but I'm liking it so much more, Dan. A hot take. Hot take. A Star Wars book written by possibly the greatest Star Wars author of all time is better than the worst Star Wars book I've ever read. So there's that. It's written by Matthew Stover. That's the hot take.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
Freddie, how many are you at?
Okay, so I read Revan, Deceived, and then I read Fatal Alliance as well. So that's 3. I'm almost done with Annihilation and Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. So that's going to be what 4. I just finished Mall Lockdown. So I've read 4 total books and about to finish 2 more.
You're not
So
done
I'm
with Lockdown yet?
No, I finished Lockdown. Lockdown's fantastic.
So that's 5, right?
Yeah, that's 5.
Okay.
all right. So as long as he's not at 6, I feel okay with that.
Oh, I'll be there soon.
I'm currently
I,
reading
Oh my
digging it.
goodness.
2 or 3 Legends books at the same time, which I don't know if that's a bad idea or not, but we'll find out.
So, Jared, do you want to know
You're
how many
confused.
I've read?
Yes, sir. Please say 4.
I'm at
Rick is tied it up.
6.
Now,
I'm at
here's
6.
the issue. All right, Rick. One of the books Rick read.
Whoa.
It's a
Okay.
book
We're gonna go
that I-
gatekeeping my
that I
score.
All right, here we go. It's one that I also read during the same time, but I don't get to count it because it's a reread for me, and it was a new read for Rick.
Which one are we talking about?
I don't know. I just remember it happened.
One was a reread for me, but it had been like 6 years since I read it last, and so that's why we counted it.
What, Kenobi?
No, I didn't count Kenobi. It was I think let's see, look at my list. Wedge's Gamble, that's what it was. That was a reread, but it's like been like 5 or 6 years since I read it, so
But you're counting it.
I'm counting it. Yes.
I think
I
if it
don't
was
know.
over 5 years, we decided it was okay.
Yeah, it was multiple years. We said like multiple years because I don't remember anything about it really, so it was very fresh. But-
Most of the books I have left, I've done abridged audiobooks of as a kid, and have forgotten most
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
I'm about to hit the Bantam era. Pray for me.
Ooh.
Very excited.
Good
though,
deal.
'cause some classics here: the Corellian trilogy, the Black Fleet Crisis.
Yeah.
That other one, the Callista trilogy. Yeah. So
Black Fleet, I'm going to start that one soon too after I finish this Old Republic era. So I'm going to head back into that.
Freddie,
Old
let's make a
school.
game within our game
Okay.
where we race to finish the Black Fleet Crisis.
All right.
It'll be called the Crisis to finish the Black Fleet Crisis.
In the journey to what was it? What did we start calling
The
this?
Legends
Race to the finish. Yeah.
Legends race to
We have
the
to add that
finish,
whole thing.
Yeah.
but we are
The Black
really
Fleet
slowly...
Crisis. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, perfect. So, Rick, do we have a photo? I actually was redecorating my bedroom the other day and hung all my hats on the wall. And then I had a blank chest. You guys call it a dresser or a chest of drawers?
Chester drawers.
No.
I feel like it depends if there's like multiple sets of drawers or if they're just
Uh,
all on top of each other.
Yeah.
There are 6 drawers, 3 and 3.
That's a dresser, then I would say.
Yeah, it's Mr.
Isn't
Chester.
that also a bureau or is that a whole different thing?
bureau?
I don't know.
That's the
Do you have any
government.
ballots?
We don't
You
talk
fancy.
about the federal government around here.
You fancy.
All
All right.
right.
So I pulled out all of my Legends TBR and I lined them up on my dresser.
Ooh,
And so
motivating.
this is them. And I had to take a picture to show it off on the podcast. They are officially all lined up. And that's them. I don't know what else to say about them, but I had to show it off. I'm very excited that they're in a new location. So that means surely they're going to be closer to my brain.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's definitely how it works.
But the TLDR is Emily is still winning the game, but by not as much.
That's true. Yeah, you're lighting a fire under me. I got to get going. Keep reading.
So those are the Star Wars books that I already own that are now on my dresser. What about the new Star Wars books that we own that we just purchased recently in a segment we like to call Thracken's Thrift Store? Who's gonna lead us off? Yeah, let's put our producer on making us a little jingle for that.
Yeah.
What is the first thing to show off? I've got a few here. Anybody else have anything?
I got some things.
All right, lead us off.
Mine
Rick.
aren't really books, so just a
Yeah.
bunch of Legos.
Ooh, Legos. Okay, so let's see. I got some stuff. Like I said, I have been visiting different stores, and so like to grab some things while I could. And so while I was up in, trying to think where I put my stuff. Okay, while I was in the like Pennsylvania, Ohio area, I like got everything I could find from this one store. And so here were some of the toys and stuff that I grabbed from this one store. A Queen Amidala doll for like $10. So I'm like,
Yes.
I've got those. They
Yeah.
are horrifying.
yeah. But I was like, I asked my wife, like, is it weird if I get this? And she's like, no, because like even if you give it to our daughter, $10 is a good deal for like a doll. And I'm like, okay, good point. Probably not gonna take it out of the box, but you know,
I took mine out of the box.
Yeah.
My daughter's took all of her clothes off of her.
oh man,
So she's behind me naked.
yikes! Oh dear, that's not weird.
The clothes are really cool. It's a really ornate dress.
Yeah, they have a lot of like different things you can change the dress and stuff into. Then that's Anakin and his what's it called, pod racer, and the Sith speeder
that
with
one.
Darth Maul, and got me a Mace Windu. And then what I wanted to show off, that's Dark Empire themed, is this embossed metal collector cards that comes
my
in a little
gosh.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
metal tin, and these like have little bags. They're metal cards that
cool.
What?
yeah.
Oh my
I don't-
goodness!
I
I
don't
can
know.
see them from here.
Got any
Hold
holographics?
them up to the camera. 'cause-
Yeah, so they are the 6 covers of the first 6 issues, basically.
Oh yeah,
And
hold
then-
on. We do one.
I think I
beautiful.
have a picture of them.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's even any better. Let me switch over to that. And so they're kind of
those
glary
are beautiful.
because the
You
plastic's
got
on them.
naked palps on a metal trading card.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yep. Not trading. And then like the backs of them are pretty cool too. Have a little description and some like what are they called? Cells, I guess, from the comics.
Oh yeah, cool.
So really excited about these. Pretty cool.
I didn't know these existed.
Yeah, I didn't either till I saw them, and I'm like, I've got to get them. And they're relatively affordable, like on eBay. So Jared, you should look into getting some.
I've sworn off buying Star Wars things the rest of the year.
Oh, okay.
I bought something today, but besides that, I've sworn off buying Star Wars things the rest of the year.
Dude, it's a little early in the year. Just saying.
I'm actually doing okay.
We are
at
halfway.
this. Okay.
Also,
A little over.
got a Shock T, Revenge of the Sith figure. Trying to get
That'd be a good dog name, Shock T.
Shock
2
T.
syllables.
That is, yeah,
But
like
dash.
Only
That
if the dog
dash
has
won't do
brain
it for ya.
tails.
yeah.
All right.
That's true.
What is that, Emily? Dash.
I'm so salty about that dash thing. Like, that is a great dog name.
It really
It
is.
only
Back-
just
back
occurred
me
to
up on
me.
this, please.
It only just occurred to me that that's a Legends name.
Yeah.
Yes, Dash Rendar.
Dash
Yeah.
Rinda.
Wow.
An hour
Dash
late, I just
Renda.
figured it out.
Okay, so you thought that whole time I
Rename
was
the
just
dog.
real basic and just assuming like regular dog names, not Star Wars. You just thought I truly just did not understand the assignment.
Uh-huh.
We've all been on this roller coaster, and Jared just realized we're upside down.
Oh, man.
That is correct. And now I'm
Because I
sweating.
was like,
I'm
I don't
texting my
understand
wife
why I
to turn
didn't
the air
get.
down.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you just. Okay, that makes me feel better actually somehow.
Oh man,
All right. Great merch there, Rick.
thanks.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I've got something else to show off, just a little shelf update, but I'll let someone else go if you want, and we can come back
Okay.
if we have time.
Freddie.
Well, not books or anything, but I've got 4 new Legos. I was at a
do?
Target.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I was at a Target, and it was one of those things I was looking at, and I was like, okay, well, I haven't bought any Legends things recently, no books. Been focusing a lot on photography and stuff like that. So not trying to buy anything, just going out, adventuring, camping a lot, stuff like that, and taking pictures, fishing, enjoying life while I can, I
Wow,
guess.
awesome.
And I was at a
I'm
Target,
gonna
and I
hang out
said,
with
you know
man.
what?
That sounds fun.
I thought to myself, I'm gonna see what's going on in the Star Wars toy aisle, because I haven't been there in a while, and last time I looked at it, it was pretty barren. And well, it was still barren, but there were I got this here, the KSC fire spray.
Ooh.
Yeah,
what?
it's the KSC fire spray.
The what?
What is that? Whose ship is
I'm
that?
teasing. There's a lot of debate about the name of this ship.
I thought it was. That's not Slave One. No.
This one is Slave One. Boba's
renamed.
Starship is what they called it on the packaging, actually. Which, I'm not terribly. I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. They want to rebrand. People like Boba, and for him to have a ship called Slave One, maybe not the best in optics.
Some
I
people
totally
just aren't
understand.
going to understand. Some moms are going to see
Yeah.
it and say, "What is this?"
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
and
sense.
Freddie,
if we
they
get to
had that
keep the
one.
ship, then I'm down.
That's right, and we know, in Legends, I think in Dark Empire, doesn't he get another one called Slave 2?
Check that
What?
out.
Wait, what is
What
that?
is that?
That's a.
Ooh.
Hold on. Is it? There's
Oh.
three
It's a
different
Gamorrean frozen
pronunciations.
in
Gamorrean,
carbonite?
Gamorrean.
Gamorrean.
What else do we have? Yeah,
Gamorrean.
Gamorrean.
It's a Gamorrean guard. If you're an
Yeah,
audio
and-
listener, Freddie has a Gamorrean guard frozen in carbonite. It's a Lego. And
Oh.
he's sticking it up into the guts of the Millennium of the
Whoa.
Slave One. Wow, amazing! The fire spray.
Got one of those, and then I got
Freddie,
this.
my
cool
Target had that on
501st.
sale the other day. The Slave One was on sale
Nice.
at my Target, and I almost bought it. So might be joining you. All right, what else you got
Bark
there?
speeder.
501st Trooper.
Yep, 501st Trooper, Bark Speeder. Also, this. What is this? ATRT?
The Chicken Walker.
it's-
ATST?
No, it's not an ATST. I think it's the ATRT,
Oh,
but I'm not
Okay. Yeah.
completely sure.
I
Right?
see. Yeah, the one that's like
And then
open roof, the convertible
I wanted-
version.
Yep. I wanted something else that was a little more interesting, so I got this bad boy.
Wow. To our audio listeners, Rick is having a conniption. Or possibly that was his best TIE fighter noise.
Yeah.
I
Have
will-
y'all seen that TikTok?
Yes.
Did I send it to y'all? Because it's the
I
funniest thing
also
ever.
spend an ungodly amount of time practicing my my TIE fighter noises
Oh,
as I
no.
play with my kids, and it just like all TIE fighters, Freddy's camera just crashed and burned.
Blasted.
Oh,
That's right.
no.
That's right. F's in the chat for Freddy's camera. The amount of episodes where Freddy's camera has crashed and burned like that is
Hilarious.
staggering. It really is. That's right.
I'm
Absolutely.
just
All right,
too,
I've got a few.
too emotive over here. My
I'm
arms
proud
are
of you,
flinging
Freddie,
around.
Proud of you, Freddie, for getting some collectibles. All right, I don't know for sure if I've shown these off on air or not, because a lot of time passed in Celebration, and I couldn't get them all on the camera when Celebration was over because I brought, for those of y'all who were with me, you saw how much junk I bought at Celebration. It was insane. I brought home an entire second suitcase, and that's not counting the things that I mailed back to myself or the things I mailed to Rick.
Hmm.
So I got a Thrawn itty bitty from Hallmark.
Ooh.
No.
Look at those piercing, cute little red eyes.
Nice.
The idea with this was not that I needed it as much as I've got a Thrawn collection, and also these were like
I love
limited
Thrawn.
editions for
love
Star Wars
those.
Celebration.
That's
They
so
said they
cool.
could
So
be.
cute.
They said they could
Yeah.
be rare
I
and
never thought
expensive.
Thrawn could be cute.
And while I was in line, I bought more. Also, I bought
No.
Bigger Jan and the modal nodes, the itty bitties. And when I did, I said to the Hallmark lady, she was, it was like very intense to get these. And we had to go to our panel right after, and I was with Timothy and Emma, and we were very intent about getting our collectibles. It was very intense, right? And so I say to the Hallmark lady, she's taking my order. I said, I'd like one Thrawn itty bitty and Figure Dan in the middle nodes. And she goes, what? And I said, yeah, the Cantina band. So I got those. Also roaming around the stacks of, I called it the hive of scum and villainy. You know what I'm talking about? The side of Celebration where the vendors dwell.
Oh, okay. The
aftermarket vendors.
typically the
Ooh.
overpriced things, the haggling items, is what
the
I like to call
haggling
them.
items.
the bazaar.
Rick, one day we're gonna do it together, buddy. It is. You're gonna freaking die. It was too much for me, honestly. Like anxiety wise, it was intense. But being a vendor, we could get in early, so I would spend like an hour, when possible, taking my time to go through before the crowds were there, which was good because
Yeah.
oh man, it would get crowded in there. Whew, I can't even breathe thinking about it. There, I bought Dark Empire Luke,
Ooh.
which I was very
Ooh.
proud to get with his big old chin. Look at that chin.
That is a big
It's
chin.
a
Yeah.
nice
So
solid chin
I
there.
would like to get this whole line sooner or later, but I'm not in like a huge hurry to get it. Speaking of Dark Empire, this is not Dark Empire. That's sad. This is the Last Command source book. I went to a
Nice.
local comic book store.
Mm-hmm.
This was a couple weeks before Celebration, and I found this for $10. The Dark Empire source book. Sabaoth, a little bit shirtless down there in the corner.
Mhm.
He's got open
Deep
V robes and is summoning the power of chest hair. Okay. And was very happy to get these because these are kind of hard to get. Legends hardcover collectibles sitting right next to it. The New Jedi Order source book.
Nice.
Luke and is dancing with a Yuuzhan Vong with his amphi-staff there. Very excited to get this one. This one is actually got some full color illustrations inside. You got Luke using some Force lightning or something in there, which is cool. So happy to pick that up. These are just really impossible to find. Like you can't just go online and find them. You never know if they're actually available. Not everybody's selling these all the time. And then this was the holy grail of that particular trip. They had exactly in my comic book store one prose book in the entire store. Not only did it just so happen to be a Star Wars book, what are the odds of it actually being a Star Wars book I didn't own?
Mm-hmm.
What are the
Impossible.
odds that it would
But
be?
never tell me the odds. What is it?
It would also be, it's not Legends, but I'm excited. They had a collectible, limited edition, rare, exclusive cover of the Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad. I got the Target edition
Nice.
cover, which I didn't own. These are actually pretty hard to find
That's
these
cool.
days.
Mm-hmm.
The only book in the entire store was a collectible Star Wars hardcover in perfect condition.
Wow.
And y'all should have seen me. I had to move a big cardboard cutout of an anime character to get to this thing, and I found it, and I was like, "Oh, yes!" And my kids were like, "What? It's a Star Wars book." So I got it, and now it's mine. All right.
Is it signed?
No, but this was the exact same day where I found my Princess Leia, the
Oh,
Carrie Fisher
nice.
signed Princess Diarist, the next story
Oh
we
my
went to.
goodness.
Man.
Which upstaged this one, so I have waited to tell this story on the show. Emily, what do you have?
Well, I am currently designing my next Star Wars room. I'm hoping it will be a semi-permanent spot, but based on the house we've got, it's not looking super optimistic. So I'm looking for some nice, like chic Star Wars art that can just live in my space, like behind me in this, like,
Emily,
wouldn't that be
hit
nice?
me up. I have some.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Maybe this is what we could talk about. So there are some beautiful paintings that I mean, I have a couple of them, but you can most likely still get your hands on them. And it's like, for instance, you've got maybe Alderaan in the background. I'm not sure, or Naboo. I think it's Naboo, and then Padme just looking back with her beautiful, like one of her beautiful dresses on, and it's almost
Oh.
like a photograph of her standing in this beautiful landscape. That's one of them.
Mm.
There's
Freddie
another
is a collector of Star Wars fine art.
one. Yeah. And there's another one.
Within
which...
seconds of getting to Celebration, Freddie came back with poster tubes, and he was like, "I bought
It's
stuff."
true.
Speaking of poster
It's true.
tubes, Jared, are you sending me that poster?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Thank you. I'm going to post office tomorrow.
I accidentally
Okay.
hung it on my wall.
Oh no, I slipped and here's where
Which
it
one?
ended
The
up.
Bad Batch?
The Kenobi.
Okay, I got it. It's
All right.
yours.
There's another one that I've seen that has all of the dresses of, I would say, a majority of the, maybe not Mara Jade, maybe though, I don't know, of all the dresses and like gowns of like Leia, Padme, and some other really important characters in, Ahsoka's outfit and a couple other things, and beautifully done in my opinion. There's also like a very Thrawn-ish looking art piece which you might love, and he's kind of just sitting in his chair, pondering almost, if you're into that kind of stuff.
I mean, I love Thrawn,
there's
so
yeah, it depends if you're into like landscape stuff.
I want to see some of
There's
these.
a guy.
That sounds great.
Yeah, there's there's a guy named Malcolm Tween who I recommend if you like landscape stuff. He tends to do beautiful landscapes with a hint of some Star Wars in there. So that's how I like to see it. At least.
Yeah, I think you got to have some 3D elements too. As I learned, having just one big flat thing behind you didn't quite work. So I got to have a few other things to spice it up.
Did you see the
Make it
guy?
Be your
Make it
art
3D.
curator.
There's like a guy who takes like Goodwill paintings and like adds like AT-AT
yeah.
walkers in them, whatever, or just
You
different.
should do that too, Emily.
Yeah, just take some random Goodwill painting and Star Warsify it.
Yeah.
And then you should make a YouTube series chronicling building your room. Just kidding. That was a lot
Oh
of
my
work, and I
gosh.
would not recommend.
Yeah, we'll have to see because based on like I have to wait till the kids are asleep and I need the farthest place away from them that I can find, which
Correct.
means it will have to be a public spot because all the bedrooms are upstairs and like the nook that was supposed to be the office is right outside my daughter's door. So like unless you want her like right here
Yeah.
talking to you the whole time, then it's gonna have to be a bit of an adjustment. But I think I'll find a way to work it in. My brother is actually an artist. He's in a graphic design program here, and he's made a beautiful Ahsoka piece for me. So I asked him if he'd like consider maybe doing like a Tatooine
Yeah.
poster of some kind, or like
Cool.
as I was
You
thinking
just
about
need
it,
you just need the little homestead and a moisture evaporator,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
right?
There you
Or
go.
I want
just like
something
a
like
big Tusken
subtle
Raider
and like
face.
there you go. I mean, there's options.
Subtle.
He's really talented, so I feel like if I gave him an idea, he could come up with some things. But then he sent me a gif of the Joker saying, "If you're good at something, don't do anything for free." So, like, don't do it for free. So I think he wants me to pay him, and I just don't know. Like,
I'm married to an artist. I understand the amount of times I'm like, "Hey, would you do that thing?" And she's like, "You know my price is." You know, it's like, come on.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You
so
know what
I'm
though? If
trying
you
to decide what my
add
budget
some
is.
canvas, you add some canvas in your room, also helps with sound dampening. So
That's true.
Hey,
That's
the
true.
practical man.
Yeah, I've got a big canvas right
Boba
there.
Fett.
Boba Fett.
Right
Man.
behind the camera. Absolutely. Well, I'm
Where?
excited to see that come to life, Emily. I'm happy you guys are getting settled. And
Yeah.
That's cool.
is that room red or brown? Because if it's red, I'm colorblind. If it's red, you could do like the Palpatine's office thing.
I
Some
mean, I
big
would love that. This is
royal
actually
busts.
my parents' home.
Okay,
We're moving into a very beige house, so it will be beige.
beige, just like the Jedi. So it's
yes,
gonna be
yes.
Yeah.
Jedi robe themed.
Warm neutrals,
Guys,
for sure.
There you
is
go.
beige one of those colors that us guys always like look at each other like, yeah, I know that color? Or is it just me?
It's like a
Beige.
dirty white.
What'd you call me? Okay. Sorry.
And moving on. So
All
it's been a
right.
very fun
Oh.
Bracken's thrift store. Our second race joke
Oh,
tonight.
I have
It's
one more
going
thing.
great.
One
All right,
more thing.
Freddie's got one more.
Okay, so this is in celebration of the 50th anniversary. I believe, yeah, it's a Hasbro, or yeah, they've got Kenner on it, so Hasbro. And I forgot I ordered this a long time ago, and it finally came. Cool stuff in the back. It's got this whole 50th thing with the timeline of the movies when they came out. I think really trying to get people to understand, where things are at in the reality of things, and in the reality of Star Wars, the Star Wars timeline. And then,
Hmm?
guess what it is?
Ooh.
Oh, it's George Lucas
Yes.
as a stormtrooper. That's very cool.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if he wanted this to come out or if this is Disney's way of saying, hey, we're going to put your face on a stormtrooper.
I bet he gets royalties.
Either way,
so.
they accidentally sent me another one.
When I bought my 50th anniversary.
Great
Thrawns.
maker.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got George and George, right?
Yep, there you go. That's exactly it. I'm keeping both of them for sure.
I've not seen those, Freddie. I've not seen those. That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. I
I've
don't
got
remember
quite a
buying
few of
it.
the 50th anniversary figures. They're really nice. They're good quality.
Can I show off one more thing?
For sure.
I've been redoing my shelves a little bit, and I been getting a lot of Black Series figures, and then some older, Power of the Force, 90s era, 3.75 inch figures, and so I'm trying to figure out how to display them. And so this is an update. Let's see. These are my Funkos. Don't have many, but kind of on a little tier rack.
Wow.
And
Jar
then,
Jar's face really
Yeah,
pops.
it just pops.
Really does.
And then this is like right before the show, so my lights are not optimized for the viewing,
Look at
but
this.
some Black Series, and then some old school 3.75 inch. That's like Kenobi Ghost on the back left there.
I like
Those Hans are a little close to each other.
Oh yeah, I meant to take one of them away. Yeah, that's funny.
Line up all your
Wow,
Huns.
the coin.
I'm not gonna ask what's going on there.
They call each other Hani.
Han and
What happens on
Han.
the shelves stays on the shelves. Wow. I can just imagine Han turning over his shoulder and saying, "Hey, I'm standing here." All right.
I think I
Hey, you're me.
Or am I you?
Wow. That would be confusing to Han. It's a lot for him to handle.
Even
Well,
more
that's fun,
for
Rick.
Ha-on. Okay, sorry.
We've done a lot of clone jokes tonight. Wow.
Yep.
All right,
Oh,
so
too
wrapping this segment, moving into the next here. Let's just rattle down the list quickly. Let's go round robin style around the horn here with the Legends Lookout, the fun things happening in the world of Legends. And we're not going to do this on every show, but once a month we're going to give you everything you need to know about what is coming out and being re-released in the world of Legends. 2 things that have just been made canon. Are you ready? Number 1. Today, this week, I don't know. I've lost track of time. This week was the release of another brand new canon book, Padawan. We're not going to spoil it. This particular Legends Easter egg happens in like chapter 2. So very early, inconsequential to the plot of the book. However, you've been warned. Yeah, plug your ears for 15 seconds or so here. There is a Legends character who is referenced quite frequently in the book, though is not actually in the book, and that is Siri Tachi. Obi-Wan's Jedi Padawan friend Siri is mentioned like 50 to 100 times in this book. So very excited to have her. We got a picture of her.
Cool.
A picture of her. I was saying earlier, Scout, is Scout was in one of the Padawans I was going to reference earlier, and Siri is also a Legends Padawan. That was a segue that I totally botched earlier. All right, next up, also another Legends inclusion in canon, Shadow of the Sith. You've been reading that, right, Rick?
Shadow of the Sith?
Yeah.
Not yet. I haven't started it.
Shadow of the Sith recently had a very fun Legends Easter egg. Once again, inconsequential to the plot of the book. Luke drinks a certain beverage in Shadow of the Sith. In fact, Corey Helton himself was ranting and raving about this today, and we just got to give it a little shout out. Y'all want to take a guess what beverage Corey Helton? Luke Skywalker was chugging in Shadow of the Sith.
Orange juice?
Was it hot?
It was hot.
Oh. The good old hot chocolate or hot cocoa. How do they?
Luke
I think
drinking
it's
hot
hot
chocolate is canon again.
Nice.
Mm.
I love it.
Definitely. Okay, Emily, lead us off with the next item here
Yes.
of Legends Lookout.
So the next wave of Essential Legends collections is due out on August 2nd, which is just next week. Which one are you picking up first?
Ooh.
I'm definitely looking forward to Kirto's Trap audiobook. So for audio, that's definitely gonna be the first one for me.
Awesome. Yeah, we got Death Troopers, Maul Shadowhunter, and the Krytos Trap. And the Death Troopers already has an audiobook. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I was listening to it the one time when the lady snuck up on me and I screamed and she screamed and we all screamed and there was no ice cream, but there were leaves. I was raking our leaves. So Maul Shadowhunter, one of my top 5 Star Wars books of all time. I've listened to it, the abridged version, like 20 times. I mean, I just love it so much. So this is being read by Sam Witwer.
I'm excited for this. This is the one I'm excited for right here. I cannot wait to listen to that. Is this the first unabridged for that book?
Yeah,
It is,
and
right?
the first book
Yeah.
that Sam Witwer's narrated for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And let me just put it this
Wow.
way. I don't know if there has been anything in all of Star Wars Legends that I have been as excited for since the Disney Legends canon split
Yeah.
as I am for Sam Witwer narrating
Yeah.
Darth Maul Shadowhunter. I mean, I rant and
That
rave
is
about this
awesome.
book all the time. And
so
Sam
cool.
Witwer is reading this. I got the chance to meet him lovely guy.
Yeah.
Lovely guy. I was nervous. I was so excited, and he just treated me with such poise and grace, and he was present, and he looked me in the eyes, and he was warm and smiled, and he talked to me and had casual conversation. I was like, and
That's
he
awesome.
signed my piece, and he said, "Thank you for coming by, Jarrett. It's a pleasure to meet you. May the force be with you." And did a little voice for me, whatever his thing is, and he is going to read me my favorite Star Wars book. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Unbelievably excited. So,
That's
Rick,
awesome.
what was your choice? You said Krytos Trap.
Krytos, yeah.
And Emily, what was yours?
Probably Darth Maul. Is it Shadowhunter?
Yeah, now that I talked it up real good. So thank you.
Yeah,
It's
well, no,
great.
the cover is just gorgeous. I would put that on any shelf.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You know, I'm
It
glad
really is.
I'm glad Disney I'm glad that Disney has seen the importance of Legends, and they're throwing us. First of all, the fact that they're throwing us a bone right here and there with stuff, it is definitely money, but it's also nice to be thrown just about as many bones to build a skeleton at this point with Legends. I mean,
That's true. Yeah.
it's nice to see these things coming out and unabridged productions with people that we have recently especially associated with these characters. Honestly, the best thing to happen to Legends in a long time. We're never gonna get new content, but we're getting new content.
Hey.
Right?
There are currently no plans to make new content. Don't slam the door on me that hard, Freddie. You're gonna get my
But I
fingers
just
caught in
said
there.
they're still giving us new content. This is an unabridged production, audio production of a Star Wars book, Legends book.
That's right.
And it's new content. So we're
That's right.
getting new content, but we're not supposed to.
Yeah. I've also recently gotten into the world of some Legends fan fiction, and it's a lot of fun too. So there's that. All right. That's a conversation for another day, but definitely not on the show. So one more piece of Legends news. Let's see. Rick, you're up next. What else is coming out on August 2nd?
See. That would be Clone Wars Epic Collection Volume 4. Ooh, pretty cover. That thing looks good right there. Also, like you said, coming out on August 2nd. I can't keep track of all these volumes, so I'm glad they number them instead of.
That's why we know. That's right. We've got our monthly Legends Lookout segment to help you get your pre-orders in. Freddie, you're up next. What else is coming out in the world of Legends Epic Collections?
Let's see here. So I'm trying to find the show notes because I'm looking at all the Epic collections now. Yeah, so also, are we talking about August 2nd here? Because we've got some good content.
September 6th.
September 6th? Okay, well, even better. Yeah, this one, we've got the Empire Epic Collection Volume 7 releasing September 6th. Man, we're getting a lot of good content here. What is the Empire, what is it collecting this time around?
You know, I did not copy exactly that into the show notes. But I normally do. But I didn't.
I can chat about it.
So yeah, we'll find out.
Awesome.
we'll find out. So a lot of great things there coming out. These Legends Epic collections. It's amazing how some of these will get quite valuable very quickly after they are printed, and also they're just they're nice and floppy and they sit open just right. Very easy way to.
I've got the list here, by the way,
to get caught up on your Legends comics. What you got, Freddie?
Yeah, this is a really good collection here. So the Empire Volume 7, it's going to be collecting the blood ties, blood ties, 1 through 4. The tale of Jango and Boba Fett, which is great. And then we've got Blood Ties, Boba Fett is Dead 1 through 4 as well. Empire 1 through 4, and then we've got Underworld 1 through 5, and then a couple of additional stuff like some pre-comic book day Star Wars editions and whatnot. So honestly, this is definitely a collection that I'm gonna be putting in my collection.
Cool, definitely. I've picked up some of these sporadically, so undecided on getting all of them or not, but we'll see. I definitely like getting those big, thick hardcover omnibuy for sure. Okay, so those are the Legends Epic collections coming out at least before our next Legends catch-up show. I think what I'm most excited about is the next thing. Emily, I know that you've got the the Barnes and Noble collectible um, Han Solo book, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, I do.
we got a couple more of these coming out, right?
We do. We've got the Barnes & Noble collectible editions of Kenobi and the Bounty Hunter Wars currently releasing on September 14th. And man, they are beautiful.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
that's
excited
awesome.
about both of these. The price, though, they're a pretty penny, but they're a pretty book. So,
Yeah.
I
looks good.
mean, are they leather bound?
Yeah, they're that
So-
fake-ish leather. You know, the
Pleather.
what you'd find in Jabba's palace.
Oh, that Boba Fett cover is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a fan of that.
It's
I love getting
gorgeous.
these big leather bound collectible editions. They just look really good on any shelf. That bedroom, what do we call it? The dresser. These are definitely going on there. These are not
The
just
dresser.
these are not just Star Wars collection books. These are going in the bedroom. These are going on the
Shelf
nice
in your-
shelf.
In your bathroom as
Mm.
well. You have one in there.
Yeah, and a great comment here from Skooma Joe that I believe the rumor is the approaching storm is being paired with Kenobi, though I don't know. It's for sure.
Sorry.
You're good.
I was looking at the Kenobi book like yesterday on Barnes and Noble, and I'm pretty sure they do have that officially up there now.
Awesome.
That let me pull it up real quick and check, but I did remember seeing something about that.
Cool. Yeah. Well, while he looks that up, we do have a bit of sad news. I don't want to spend too much time on this. However, this has swirled around a little bit in the Legends world, and that is Freddie. You're nodding along. You know the bad news. What is it?
I wouldn't say it's bad news. It's kind of like, oh
it was
man,
predictable.
It sucks. But
you could see it coming.
Yeah, especially with how ambitious it was. But the KOTOR, that whole thing, the remastered version, yeah, it's delayed till about, I would say, I think it's 2025. So, you know, we've got some time. It might be delayed again. I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of resources to get this thing, I think, where it needs to be.
They had to reboot
it might
much of the creative team, which is not a great sign.
Yeah.
But you know what?
So we'll see.
The restored content for Knights of the Old Republic 2 is coming out on Switch this fall, so I'm excited to get that because
look at that.
I got deep into it when I realized that the restored content wasn't in it yet, and I had to stop and wait for them to add it. So I'm very excited because I was digging it. So there's some hope. Little glimmer of hope. And then one last thing before we close out the show tonight, we got a little bit of listener feedback. Remember, of course, you can submit your listener feedback just like Elliot did by emailing us at legendslookback@utini.com. Elliot is colloquially known in the Utiniverse as the Pool Hat Kid. Elliot is a super fan who was hanging out with us at Star Wars Celebration. Lovely meeting him and his family, and sent us an endearing email that also included a photo relic. And so get this pulled up if you can. The photo labeled as ice cream. All right, so we will show this off when we get there in the reading of the email. And I will not read every single word of the email, Elliot, but I do want to give you a shout out. Appreciate the email. He said, hey there, I was recently going back on the old YouTube and scrolling through some of the episodes from the overall podcast network I've already listened to on Apple Podcasts. Resplendent with amazing I can't even say this. Resplendent. What a great word. Resplendent with amazing visuals. In this deep dive down the Utini rabbit hole, I rewatched the Utini history episode from the Living Force and was amazed by all the photos from the archives, and even more amazed by all the tidbits I'd forgotten since it's been like 6 months since I first listened to that episode. Now, that brings me to the subject of my email. The Utini history episode was really all about the big picture, and while one of my all-time favorite episodes, it was kind of lacking in an in-depth historical deep dive into the additional Utini thingamabobs, his word, not mine. Of course, it'd be pretty impossible to fit everything in an hour and a half episode, but I'd really like to learn all about the history of Legends Look Back. I mean, it's been a really fascinating story. I think you are not wrong, my friend. Not wrong. And I'd love to hear the entire story of Legends Look Back's eclectic past. I don't know if you guys ever thought about doing a history episode, but I'd love to hear it. Your loyal listener, Elliot, the Admiral Akbar in the Discord. One last thing, I was feeling a wee bit nostalgic for Star Wars Celebration and watched a few things to bring back the feels, one of which the running of the Wilro hoods. Then, oh my gosh, I saw this. My understanding is he was watching a YouTube video about Celebration and saw this frame in a YouTube video, freeze framed it, and sent it to me. Are we ready for this? He found this photo of me doing the running of the hoods, and it's a gem, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Glorious.
And so he sent it over to us, which was cool. So
man, you got to bring the stash back. Bring it back.
It was a mighty stash. Every time Emily and I would like go hang out in the courtyard, the magical courtyard, or something, I'd pull my mask down and she'd be like, "Oh, I forgot that was there."
It really took me aback. I think we went through like the Mandalorian experience or something, and you like it was the first time I saw it. It was like a big reveal as you like pulled it down to take a picture, and I was just like,
if a stash isn't startling, you're not doing it right.
It was
so the
really,
funny
I let
part,
it grow untouched for like a month, 6 weeks maybe right before that. So it did get quite bushy.
That's funny.
the sideburns made it for me. I
Can
mean,
we
it's
just-
got
that
to be
was the
both
fun
or
part.
nothing.
I'm just gonna leave it
That
up
was
for a
the fun
few.
part. So Jared, he was in my house, and going, should I keep the chops? Should we do this? And I'm watching him just shave, and he's got some of his beard partly off, some of it's still on. And we're like, yeah, you got to keep the chops, man.
The live experience for sure.
Yeah. It was awesome. That's such a cool picture.
Yeah. Then thank you to Elliot. So I do want to read the email last as we close out the show here tonight in our monthly catch-up episode to just basically say that's exactly what we're going to do in 2 weeks. So next week we're going to have no live show. We're going to have our Legends Look Back Star Wars Celebration Ultimate Highlight Reel coming out. If you're feeling nostalgic for Celebration like Elliot is, we are going to cut together all of our footage. And I mean, we've got a ton of Legends footage from Celebration. Emily, what do you think? It was like 2 hours that the three of us walked around before including Nia, shooting footage for our YouTube video.
Probably. I don't know. Y'all abandoned me like 10 minutes in, so I really don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Is that when you got in line for coffee? And then when we came back for you, you were gone?
Like you were gone for like an hour. I gave up on the coffee after about 5 minutes and went back to the booth. And like an hour and a half later, you're like, yeah, sorry about that.
Sounds like you abandoned us.
Well,
regardless,
I'm still running on very little sleep. It's really astonishing that I'm even speaking right now.
We got a lot of footage, and we're going to finally release the ultimate. We've teased it long enough. The ultimate Legends to Look Back Star Wars Celebration highlight reel.
Gee,
next Thursday.
Sounds like fun, guys.
You're gonna love it, Rick. I can't wait to share
Rick,
with you.
I'm barely in it. Don't even worry about it.
I want you to. But what they don't know is all the great times we had that's not on camera, Emily.
That's true.
Hey,
That's
you better
true.
include some of my photoshopped pictures just for fun because I was there in spirit.
You definitely
sure.
were.
Yeah, send me some,
That's so
and
funny.
I'll totally edit those into the video. Okay.
I have the power.
So thank you, Elliot. We are going to talk a little bit more about the history of Legends Look Back. What a storied history it has been. And we're going to do Legends, a black tie affair, a Legends, what did I call it earlier? Awards show. Legends Awards show. Going to do honorifics for the best and weirdest and wildest and wackiest things in all of Legends in 2 weeks for the 100th episode of Legends Look Back featuring... Is it making his first or second? I don't remember if he's been on the show before.
I feel like this is the first episode.
First ever appearance of Dr.
think
Corey Helton
Who?
on Legends Look Back.
Nice.
Yeah, so very excited
Very
to have
exciting.
him on in 2 weeks on. So make your plans for February 11th. And that's not right. What is the month?
August.
August.
Still
11th.
August.
And so if you are waiting on something to fill the time before then, coming out next Monday, we've got Star Wars Romance with the Living Force, and then Wednesday, revisiting the 77 run with the Cosmic Force. So that's Legends. You got to watch it. Yeah, be there. Please do. I don't know where else to go with this. That is it for this week. Thanks for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thank you to our incredible patrons for your amazing support. A special thank you, especially to our friends on the Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, and the Alliance High Command, Elizabeth Cloutier, Sally and Chris Eilerson. Remember, of course, to sub to the channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. That helps others find the show, and it helps our show look good. And we want it to look good because, after all, I mean, look at Freddie. You've got to have his show looking good on the internet, because look at that hat and those swole muscles and the glowy R2-D2 in the background. And of course, if you listen to this on audio platforms, you don't know what I'm talking about. And we'd love to have you jump on over to our YouTube channel every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We do a live show right here on youtube.com/Utini. Remember, if you'd like your thoughts around the show, you can email us at legendslookback@utini.com. You can send us a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel, leave a comment on this episode on YouTube, or find us on Twitter. We are, as a show, at Legends Look Back. I'm at Jared Q. Mays. Freddie
at Wake Up Freddy.
Rick
at Rick_Grace.
And Emily
at Darth Daybeck.
Remember, if you're looking to buy some of these books and want to help support the show, you can go on over to Utini.com, click the Amazon link in the profile, grab you a copy of Padawan or Shadow of the Sith, or one of the Essential Legends collection books. You got the Krytos Trap and Maul Shadowhunter and Death Troopers and so many, 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 many more. And we, of course, if you click that Amazon link, we get 4% of the sale, a whopping 4%. It really does go a long way, and they add up to help us keep the lights on, do the things we do. Helps us out a lot. Remember, after you've read the book, leave us a review. Let us know what you think. And remember, keep the Utini fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.